T-Man 978 Chill Review. Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Right now I'm bringing you McFarlane Toys Cyberpunk 2077 Johnny Silverhand, or as I've been calling him, the Keanu Reeves figure. Anyway, as you can see on the box right there, really tiny, you probably can't see it because my logo might be covering it. It says ages 14 plus, not a toy. So far, these are the only two figures that McFarlane Toys have released from this upcoming game. And this is my previous review, Model V or V. If you missed my review, I have a McFarlane Toys Chill Review playlist. Look that up. I'll probably have a link in the description. And also, I'm going to have a link to where you can get him on Amazon. I only paid $21. It's a $25 suggested retail price figure. I only paid $21, $20.99, because that's what he's been priced at for over a month. Both of these, to be honest. He's a couple cents cheaper. I'm noticing that McFarlane Toys prices fluctuate a lot. Like, he could be $21 now, might wind up being $13, but then, like, shortly after that, might jump up to $40, depending on things like, you know, distributions for action figures right now is nuts with everything going on. Look at the date, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But the sculpting is great per normal. The paint work is good. You see they put paint in the shoes. They don't usually skimp on paint details. He has like a black wash throughout the pants. Like back here, we see that samurai logo and this whole pattern just like on the back of V. So samurai, and it's on his belt. It's on that right there painted, right there painted. And it's actually on the other side. Like, holy crap, what toy company selling a $25 figure does that? The guitar has a whole bunch of details in it. And that's fully painted. The back of it, mostly plain. There is some like silver scraping right there. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's there. But of course, the strap doesn't come together on it. You have to plug it to the top and bottom. It can just come off, but if you want to have an easier time, you do have that option. But this feels nice as a substantial piece of plastic. Close up on the hands, you can see they painted the rings and whatnot, and he has a tattoo right there. I don't know if you could tell up front, but his skin is a little bit more tan right there. There is paint on the shoulders. And then it like feeds off into the forearm. The forearm is way lighter. So he must drive a lot. And his shoulder is more burnt than his forearm. And he has more tattoo detail right here and right there. So there's that. He comes with this little drink. I don't know if it's alcoholic or not. And once I remove that, you see the tattoo does continue onto his forearm. I mean, the palm of his hands. And you got this detail right there. This is actually molded into the vest. The vest has like some silver brushing on it. Has these details right there. And then the arm. You can see the robotic cybernetic details right there. His face, the typical current day Keanu Reeves beard and whatnot. He does seem to be scarred up or dirty. The dirt continues on the forehead. So I guess we'll have to play the game to figure that out. What's going on with that? They did paint his eyes, but the glasses aren't really removable. I see right here that they're pegged into the side of his head. And this one, the hair is glued tighter, so I can't really remove that. Here's a closer look at the back and whatnot. So all the textures are great and whatnot. Let's get into the articulation of the head. He doesn't have one of the typical necks, I guess because the neck is really open and not covered. And this isn't a pliable material. Like I was saying, if they made this upper torso underneath of the vest, which is super crazy pliable. I mean, this one, I feel it. It's kind of pliable, but not super pliable. If they made it super pliable, they could have put a joint up under the neck like Storm Collectibles. But he has a double ball post, so the head can look down a lot. And if we fight with it, you can look up, tilt and all that, and of course rotate. So when you tilt and rotate, you can get them to look up higher. That's the thing with these figures that don't have the neck joint. I showed off the shoulder. No, I didn't. Not in this video. Sorry. The shoulder improvement over the other McFarlane figures. Like, that's so smooth. I love it. This side as well. Whatever they did to this figure, I hope they continue doing it for the future figures. This arm does not have a bicep rotation. The elbow, it's not double jointed per se. It's just a single hinge, but it can swivel at the top and the bottom. So you can swivel the forearm a little bit, and you do get rotation right here. So that's good, but you have to worry about these wires right there. They're attached to the back of this forearm, so you have to worry about how much you rotate it. Like, I guess the main thing that I care about is the inward rotation. So that's good. I care about that more than the outward. And like I said, this still rotates, but it's connected to that. So how the heck did they even do this now that I'm thinking about it? How is it connected to the top and bottom and they're separate pieces? But anywho, this right here moves independent of all that mess. Then you get the typical universal wrist with a softer hand because it pops off. Over here, though, you do get bicep rotation, double jointed elbow that crunches all the way in. The wrist. And like I've been saying, they're improving. With these two characters, the big wrist ball seems to have shrunk. So it's more into the design of the arm. That flows way better than the typical McFarlane figure. The waist articulation. Holy crap, this would blow me away. All of this, just like a Play Arts Kai, is soft. This is soft. But there is a swivel up under here, up under the torso, so it can rotate. Then there's an ab crunch in the center of that does this. And this is all pliable. So that's a sleeve or a half shirt going up under there so it doesn't expose the joint. Love it. And then something I was talking about in my Todoroki review when I was suggesting what they should do with that. They put another hinge right here in the bottom of the waist. And it's all ratcheted. So you can rock left and right, crunch, and rotate. They didn't have that in the Todoroki or the Paley action figure. So oh, I can't believe that they're making these improvements on these figures. Like, it's almost like they're doing it while we're complaining. So he can do all types of poses. The only problem is if you bend too far, the sleeve will be exposed and you'll have to fight to put that back in. So that's the only downside. But since this is so pliable, he can kick up well above 90 friggin' degrees. I mean, it does break up the sculpt depending on how you're looking at it. And it can go back, of course. They can kick out to the side more than any other figure because these are the most pliable pants I've felt so far in his figures. I don't have all of them. You do get some out rotation on the hips right there. Depending on how you have the legs posed determines how much rotation you get. The knee bends that much right there. And the ankle, it looks like the ankle is on a universal joint, but because this is so rigid, you're not going to get much out of that as far as a turn. So yeah, that's I guess my major gripe, if I had to say gripe. But it still rotates a little bit on the peg. But it makes it, because of this design, I kind of wish that this was a pliable material over top of a post so that it could bend. But I can, if you work with it, you can get some ankle pivot out of that. It doesn't go back too much, doesn't come forward too much. It comes forward a little bit more. And you get the typical McFarlane toe joint. So, very great. Besides this hand, you get This hand right here, I'm going to be honest, this hand has like one freaking use. Oh, no, I'll give it 2 uses. Of course, you can do this and make them rock out or whatever. Really love it. But if you want to get really creative, you can, depending on how you have your camera, you can make it look like he's giving a thumbs up because the hand is shaped weird like that. But at least you still have access to the universal joint. So, yeah. I wish they would include a fist. Don't just include these like oddly pose specific hands. Give us a fist. That would be awesome for every freaking figure. I would really appreciate that. In fact, I would have took a fist over this drink, but this drink gives him another pose option, so that's good. All right, here he is next to some other 7-inch action figures. Scroll through my uploads playlist if you want to see any of these figures that you missed. I reviewed a lot of these recently, so you should be able to find them relatively quickly. Most of them are McFarlane Toys, and this is Storm Collectibles. And just in case somebody desperately needs to see it, here he is next to a 6-inch action figure. That's a Marvel Legends. But anywho, really like him. I took some pictures. I'll put them on Instagram. I actually did put one picture on Instagram. But I did take several pictures, so I might put even more. So look out for that. I have a link to my Instagram in the description of every single video and links to other places where you can follow me. If you do purchase this guy from the link in my description, it will be helping my channel out and making sure that I can bring y'all more figures to talk about on this channel. Even if you don't buy him, after you click that link, you decide to venture off and buy something else, still helps. Thank you for watching. Until next time, T-Man978, out of here. Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group, link in the description. Click the videos, click the videos, baby, click the videos. You should really click these videos, click the videos, click those videos, baby, click the videos. You really should click those videos, click that shit.